for another night of Championship football today. We've got Leeds United against Bristol City. Leeds still chasing the Championship title. Bristol City desperately trying to get that playoff place at the end of the season. They've not really been all at it the last couple of weeks, Bristol City. This is a really, really big game for them. They've only got 2 games left. Obviously, the big finish is on Saturday. All 12:30 kickoffs on Saturday. I'm debating whether or not to go live for one of those. There is a Premier League kickoff. It's Aston Villa against Fulham. That's a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. However, there is every Championship game live at 12:30 on Saturday, and there's some really, really big ones. Millwall against Burnley, or rather Burnley against Millwall. It is at Turf Moor. Millwall really do have a chance of finishing in the playoffs, and Millwall could be a Premier League side next year. Same could be said of Blackburn, and possibly even Borough as well. If Borough were to beat Coventry, results elsewhere go their way, Borough could also sneak in. So, Borough, Blackburn, Millwall, Coventry and Bristol City, 5 teams competing for 2 places on the last day. Bristol City have a game in hand on all of those tonight. If Bristol City can get a win against Leeds, not only does it finish Leeds' hopes of winning the Championship title, they're currently 3 points behind Burnley, of course, at the moment. It finishes any hope of them not finishing in the playoffs. Bristol City get a win tonight, it kills Leeds, and it absolutely puts them into the playoff place, that 5th playoff place. So there'd still only be the fight, really, from Coventry, Millwall, Blackburn and Borough, and they would scrap it out between themselves on the final day. But Bristol City could do themselves a big, big favour here. And do we think they've got the ability to do so? It's going to be a very interesting game. A very, very interesting game. I've got to say, I still fancy Leeds. Leeds at home, Ellen Road, under the lights, Monday night football. You've got to fancy Leeds, haven't you? Dirty, dirty Leeds. Sister Vista, good to see you. Rubes, good to see you. You can probably tell, I was due to go live at 5:45 today for Bologna and Udinese. Thankfully, I didn't. That finished 0-0. But I still don't feel all that well today. So, I just thought we'll skip that one. We'll come live for today for the Leeds game, and we'll make sure we do one a day as an absolute bare minimum. Mark, buzzing the whole day yesterday, celebrated into today also. You'll never walk alone. Yes, Mark, love it. It has been a great weekend, hasn't it? Wonderful weekend. And I'll just enjoy the end of the season now. You can just enjoy every game. We get clapped out by Chelsea, clapped out by Arsenal. And we can just watch and enjoy the footy, can't we? It's all good. This is a great time to be a Liverpool fan. Rubes, oh, poor thing. Sister Fister, always give yourself a day off when you need to, mate. Good to see you anyway. Thank you. To be honest, my little girl's recovered now. It's me, I'm the soft arse. I've still got the issues and the cough and just not great. So, come 5 o'clock, I looked at the clock and I was like, I can't. I've not got it in me to titivate myself up and get on camera. So, I went and had a shower, woke up a little bit, livened myself up, and I'm still not looking great, I'm still not feeling great, but hey, I'm here. Mark, you see we're getting the biggest transfer budget ever this summer. Yeah, mate, honestly, again, I've been shot down for saying it. I think Liverpool are going to sell 10 to 12 players and bring in maybe 8 or 9. I really think it's going to be the biggest summer we've had in a very, very long time. BCFC Twine, good to see you. Up the Bristol City. Hope you stick with us, mate. Trucker Matt. God, listen to me already. Trucker Matt. Let's be having you. Leeds marching on together. Good to have you in the chat, Matt. Lots of Bristol fans, lots of Leeds fans. That's what we want for this one. Mark, have you seen we're getting the biggest transfer budget? Yes, mate, sorry. M. Dot, are you watching the Champions League tomorrow? Yes, I am. If you go to YouTube, by the way, I've put out basically my entire schedule for the next week. So all the games that I'm going to be covering. I haven't put anything out for Saturday yet because I wanted to talk to you guys and make that decision, because I'm live on Tuesday, yeah, tomorrow night for Arsenal PSG. Live Wednesday for Barca v Inter. Live Thursday for Manchester United away at Bilbao in the Europa League. Live Friday for Manchester City against Wolves in the Premier League. So we're live every day. Saturday, 12:30, we've got a decision to make. Do we watch the Championship, the final day of the Championship, all games kicking off at 12:30? Do we watch one of them? Because we've just talked about at the start of this stream, there's so much riding on it in the Championship. And by the way, just from a selfish point of view, for this channel, even though we're called Premier League Dad, we watch all leagues, as you know. The Championship games have been our biggest viewers. The Championship games have actually been, we've had the most viewers. We had thousands watching us for Plymouth and Coventry. And the same could be said of Burnley against Sheffield United. We do well with Championship games, to be honest. And I enjoy the Championship games. It feels like a different type of game to those Premier League ones, doesn't it? So, I enjoy it. We watch football. We love football, don't we? Like, doesn't matter where it is, who it is, what league, we watch them all. But I'm just debating whether or not to go and watch maybe a Millwall away at Burnley. And maybe Burnley lift the Championship. Maybe they don't. Maybe they lose it. Leeds might take it final day. But they're all playing at the same time. Or do we watch Aston Villa against Fulham in the Premier League? That kicks off at 12:30 as well. So we've got a decision to make. Mark out, Diaz, Nunes, Jota, Gomez, Robertson, Kelleher. Robertson's going nowhere. Robertson's going absolutely nowhere. BCFC Twine score prediction. I think maybe 1-1. Or maybe 2-2. I think it's going to be high scoring, this one. I think it's going to be really high scoring. M.1 predictions for tomorrow. I still think PSG are going to do it over the tie, but I think maybe tomorrow might be 1-1. Maybe Arsenal pinch it 2-1. Oh no, it's in Paris, isn't it? It's in Paris tomorrow. What am I talking about? In Paris tomorrow. No, I think PSG win. I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1 PSG. Sister Vista, we should try and get Zlatan. Kyle John Fox, thank you for the follow. Kyle, do you actually show the game, buddy? No, mate, you can't show the game. Doesn't matter what. If you follow a channel that does show the game, the channel gets banned, the account gets banned, so... I'd love to. It's not me being unreasonable. I really would love to, but I can't show it. I'll be doing a watch-along. I'll be live through it. It's live on Sky Sports, so... if you like a watch-along occasionally, then stick with me. If not, and you're looking for the game, that's not me, mate. Sorry. Breeze on by. Ben Hughes, Championship playoffs and relaxation should be good. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we stick with the Championship games. Let's see. Mark in, left-back striker, Isaac or Alvarez, and number 6, backup centre-back, and someone to compete with Connor. Well, I'm going to do a video on that. Maybe probably more like towards the end of the season, actually. This just seems like loads of transfer rumours, and we're getting into that silly season now, aren't we, where transfers are just starting to pick up pace. So I think I'll be doing a video on that at some point in terms of who I think will leave Liverpool, who I think will be coming in. But yeah, there's going to be a lot. Absolutely, there's going to be a lot of games, a lot of players leaving, a lot of players coming. Caleb eating rainbow drops. Nice. I've not had them. Since I did it on that stream, I've not had any. Very nice though, aren't they? FM No Casuals, Bologna and Atalanta can just sack themselves off. Well, I backed Bologna or draw, so I'm happy enough with that one. I'm glad I didn't watch it though. Ben Hughes, Championship, much more riding on it. I agree, yeah. LFC Mike 97, thanks for the follow. Boxed by Louis, up the city, yeah. There you go. We've got plenty of Bristol City fans in. M.1, no, it's at the Emirates tomorrow. Is it actually? Oh, well, okay. Well, then that might change things. I might need to update my my thumbnail on YouTube. For some reason, I thought it was in Paris tomorrow. Are we sure? Are we absolutely crystal clear that it is? Because I don't know. I don't know. Let me just double check that. I don't disbelieve you, but I'm just for my own peace of mind here. I thought it was. Oh yeah. It's Arsenal first. Oh, what am I talking about? So yeah, then probably 1-1. Probably 1-1 tomorrow. I agree with you on that one. M.1, shame there's no Premier League last day relegation battle this season. I think there will be next season. And it might be both of these two, innit, maybe? Maybe it'll be these two playing off in the... Maybe this is a Premier League fixture next year. What do we think? Corinne, hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Mark, who do you think makes Europe in the Premier League? Well, I think Chelsea win the Conference League, which means that it drops down another place in the league. And I still think, I hope I'm wrong, I'd like Palace to get it. I'd like Palace to win the FA Cup. But I don't think they do. I think City win the FA Cup, and therefore it drops down another place in the league. So therefore, that would mean that the league placings down to 9th get Europe, which I think will be good enough for... I think Villa get a Europa League spot. I think Forest and Villa get Europa League. I think Chelsea, City and Newcastle get it, sadly. Yeah, Chelsea, City and Newcastle I think will just sneak in those Champions League spots. And then it'll be Forest, Villa in the Europa League. And then joining them, two more. Brighton and Fulham. I'd like to see Bournemouth get it. But I don't think they will. Again, sadly. And I don't think United or Spurs win the Europa League. So I think that would complete my teams in Europe for next season. Aaron, no skill Aaron. Good to see you, mate. Will Sings, is Carl Darlow in net for Leeds? I rate him as a goalkeeper. He's getting on a bit, Carl Darlow, isn't he? I'll have a look. We'll go through the lineups in a second. Aidan Lawson 20. Hey, how you doing, Aidan? Good to see you, mate. Corin, Chelsea and Forest, last game of the season. Hope Forest are still in the Champions League race by then. Yeah, that'll be a playoff, won't it, basically, that last day of the season. United are playing Villa as well at Old Trafford, last day of the season. Villa could have something riding on that. United's season could be over, or they could be waiting for the Europa League final. You never know. But there's still going to be stuff to be decided. Still lots to be decided. I know we'd all quite like a relegation battle in the Premiership, but I think that European race, that little block of like 6-7 teams all congested together, that's really interesting. Same could be said for the Championship. 5 teams fighting for 2 playoff places left, and it's the final day. I mean, Bristol City could take one of those away tonight if they were to win at Ellen Road. Bristol City get the win tonight. I think they've boxed it. And then it's just between Coventry, Millwall, Blackburn, and maybe Borough. Stanley, who do you think is going down? Who do I think is going down? Sadly, Plymouth. I would have liked Plymouth to make it to the final day, still with a chance of maybe just, they need to beat Leeds on the final day to stay up. I would have loved to see that. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and the 30-plus goal difference behind, even if they were to beat Leeds. So, yeah, I think the bottom 3 is probably the 3 that'll go down. I think Cardiff, Plymouth and Hull, sadly. Hull have got, is it Derby last day? No, they've just got beat by Derby. Portsmouth. They got Portsmouth away. I think Luton away at West Brom could be a tough one, but West Brom have been dreadful lately. Bristol City, I think they beat Preston. Preston could get dragged into it. That'd be quite sad to see Preston go down. I wouldn't like Preston to go. Derby will be fine. Derby will be absolutely fine. I think Stoke will probably be fine. Them two will draw. They'll probably be okay. Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm looking at it. I thought it'd be the bottom 3: Cardiff, Plymouth, and Hull. I think Preston, sadly, might be the ones. Liverpool for life. Sorry, I missed your comment. Who do I think miss out on the Champions League? I think Villa, almost certainly, and then you can flip a coin on Chelsea and Forest. Again, I think Forest are the form team, no doubt about that. I just think Chelsea are the better team. And Forest haven't looked all that great recently. So, I mean, Chelsea haven't looked great all season, so that's a silly thing. I'm not just basing it on that, but man for man, player for player, I think Chelsea have the better team. So, for that reason, I think they can pull more out of the bag. They didn't play well against Everton the other day. They got the win. Forest, I didn't think they played all that well against Spurs the other day. But, yeah, they got the win. And to be fair, it was a mistake or 2 mistakes from Spurs that let them in. So, I don't know. Forest and Chelsea, you can flip a coin. I think Newcastle are in, I think City are in, and I think Arsenal and Liverpool are in. So 4 out of the 5 are done. It's just whether or not Arsenal, Villa, Chelsea and Forest, which of those 3 make that final spot. And personally, I would go for Chelsea. Yeah, sadly. Stanley, thank you for the follow. Corin, I think Villa are out of it. Villa play Spurs and Man United last 2 games, yeah. Stanley, Stoke are my team. They have Derby. Nice. A Potter. Good to have a Potter in. We watched Stoke the other day against Sheffield United. We did a live watch along with Stoke. And, again, I've been keeping an eye on Stoke all season anyway because I'm a Liverpool fan, mate, so I wanted to keep an eye out for Lewis Koumas, and I thought Lewis Koumas has had a pretty good year at Stoke. And I really like Milan Manhoef as well. I think he's a very, very talented player at Stoke. So, yeah, good side, Stoke. Maybe breaking away from the old Stoke that we were used to under Pulis. Corin, Wrexham playing Leicester next season. Yeah. Corin, Forest are on pretty bad form. Chelsea started the season incredibly well. Well, Chelsea were in a title race, weren't they, up until Christmas? And then just fell away. DSKNR, thanks for the follow. Salah or Hazard? Always Salah. Always Salah. It's never even in question, that. Money detailing Val up the Bristol. There you go. We've got plenty of Bristol fans tonight. 3 or 4 Bristol fans already bouncing in the chat. Love that. We usually get plenty of Leeds fans in as well. Don't worry. So it's gonna be a good game. This good watch along. We've got 7 minutes to kick off. I'll just go through the lineups now while we've got time. So in goal, yes. By the way, it is Carl Darlow. Carl Darlow in goal. Why's my phone gone skew with? My phone's gone all over the place. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the comments. Money, up the Bristol, DSKNR. I'm a Colchester fan myself. Wow, okay. You guys might still make the playoffs last day of the season, mightn't you? Outside chance, certainly. Who have you got final day? Who are Colchester playing final day? I saw the table earlier. Let me have a look. But yeah, Colchester doing okay, aren't they? Doing all right. Right, so Leeds lineups, that's what we were on, weren't we? Barrow, okay. Barrow. Yeah, we might do okay there. Never know. Again, pending results elsewhere. Last day of the season, big finish. You could just sneak into the playoffs. Be a good season, that, for Colchester. Bradley Spickett, I'm a Cardiff fan. Yeah, bad season for Cardiff. Very bad season. Disappointing. And you know what? As sad as it is, yeah. I mean, let me know what you're thinking, mate. You're much closer to it than I am. But the performances I've seen out of Cardiff, and admittedly, I've not watched them week in, week out, as I'm sure you have. But they've looked League One. They've not looked Championship for a while. So yeah, it's not been a good season for Cardiff. Corin, where are Luton in the table? Luton are 4th from bottom, aren't they? Yeah, Luton are 4th from bottom, 49 points, Hull 48, Preston 49, Derby 49, Stoke 50. So Plymouth haven't got a chance. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's there's 5 teams all who could go down, and one final relegation spot, which Hull currently occupy. Hull would have to go and win at Portsmouth for anything to happen. If Hull even just get a point at Portsmouth, then they're probably down, and that's why I think they probably will go down. Whereas, Preston can afford to get a draw, Luton can afford to get a draw, Derby can afford to get a draw with Stoke, as long as Hull don't win. If Hull win at Portsmouth, it puts all the others into problems. Liverpool for life. Who do you think will get relegated from the Championship on the last day? Yeah, there you go. Hull. Cardiff, Plymouth and Hull. Cardiff are down, Plymouth are down. It's just now one left. So I would guess, looking at the table, Hull. Because I don't think they're going to do it at Portsmouth, to be honest. They've not been at it for a while either, Hull. So, yeah, sorry, lineups. Right, we've got Carl Darlow in goal. Bogle, Rodon, Ampadu, Firpo. Into midfield, it's Aronson, Gruev and Tanaka. Nonto on the right, Solomon on the left, and Joel Pirro up front. For Bristol City, it's O'Leary in goal, Max O'Leary, who we had a few Bristol City fans giving Max O'Leary some real stick in the chat last time out. In that loss to Luton, Max O'Leary got a lot of stick. I think he got a lot of stick in the game against QPR, to be honest. I didn't think he was too bad in that one. But yeah, Max O'Leary is coming under a lot of pressure from Bristol fans. Roberts, Dickey and Viner at the back with McCrory and Tanner in the wing-back positions. Knight and McGuane in the middle. And then you've got Naki Wells, Max Bird and George Earthy up front. Some decent players on the bench as well, you know, who could come on and change things for both sides. Still some big injuries as well to contend with. But, yeah, it's a good game, this one. Really going to be a good watch, I think. Leeds at home, they'll fancy themselves. They've got to get the win if they've got any hope of winning the Championship. Bristol City, I just think they can't afford a defeat. I think a point at least puts them in a strong position going into the final day. Let me know what you're thinking about it if you're a Bristol City fan. Because at least then, if you get a point, at least it means you could go to, well, you've got Preston final day. You'd expect to beat Preston, but Preston are going to be scrapping for their life. That's not going to be an easy game. If you get a point today, a point against Preston, I think you're probably safe. I think you probably get that final playoff place, don't you? Because you've got a decent goal difference. You'd be, yeah, well, you do actually. That categorically that works now. That works unless Millwall win against Burnley 9-0. Bristol City could quite easily draw here, draw against Preston. They're up. They're in the playoff places. So that's enough. That is absolutely enough for Bristol. Point here, point final day. They're fine. So I still think Bristol City get it done. Even if it's just a win against Preston. Maybe they lose here, and maybe Preston they can get something. Corinne, thank you for sending those through. You're a sweetheart, as usual. Tim Palmer, hi. Currently at 40,000 feet over Greenland, struggling to find a stream. Are you showing the game live? Sorry, Tim. No, we're not showing the game live. We can't show the game live. It's impossible to show the game live on YouTube or TikTok or Twitch or anywhere. You can't do it. Yeah, unless you watch it via Sky Sports or whatever other stream you're able to. The channel will get banned. So absolutely not. Sorry to say, but you know, enjoy Greenland or wherever you are, wherever you're heading. No skill, Aaron. Leeds win today. Okay. Some strong thoughts in the chat. Plenty of Bristol fans think otherwise, though. Here we go. We're off. We are off. Big game at the top of the table. Come on. Corin, I'm saying Bristol win because Leeds are already up. Liverpool for life, Leeds 2, Bristol City 2. Corin, but they could want the title. Absolutely, Leeds will push for the title. There's no way. This is their final home game of the season, Leeds. They've got a long trip to Home Park against Plymouth on the final day. This is their farewell to their fans for this season. There's no way they aren't going for it. And really going for it. I mean, yeah, Ellen Road looks Bouncing. Why are they all in goal? That's a foul and a free kick, surely. That might be a penalty. No, referee says nothing doing. Bristol City try and get out. Can't get out. I'm going to have to change that that banner at the top because there's no way. They're not even playing in red. Bristol City are in their away black strip. So we're going to have him in black. We're going to have him in black. Yeah, that's the other thing to consider. Obviously, Burnley winning at QPR 5-0. That basically told Leeds exactly what they need to do. They're going to have to really pull all out stops to win these last two games. And goal difference might tell in the end. I mean, Leeds, if they are finishing level on points, they'll win the league because they are plus 60 currently. And Burnley are plus... Chance. Oh, just wide. Yeah, Burnley are plus 51. Leeds are plus 60. So, Leeds win it if they finish level on points. Corin, it's a great title race with Leeds and Burnley. Yeah, both have done really, really well this season. He would have been offside there. It was Leeds just messing around with it around the edge of the area. They play a really good ball out wide to Firpo, and for some reason, Bogle's in the 6-yard box. That's a really big sign from Leeds that you've seen all season. Look at that goal involvements by defenders in the Championship this season. 13 for Firpo, 10 for Bogle. It feels like both of those end up finding themselves in the penalty area a lot. And it's kind of a hallmark, a trademark of Danny Farke's tactics to have his wing-backs, his full-backs so high. They almost play like wing-backs, don't they? Bye, Squad Bro 18. Hi, how you doing, mate? Good to have you in the chat. Goodness me. Only Bristol City and Burnley have prevented Leeds from scoring in the Championship this season. Can they do it again? Corin, do you have faith in Palace? Sadly, no. Sadly, no. I really hope so. I really hope so. I always hark back to the City side that we've seen and we know how good they are. And, you know, I know they're not that this season, but they've still got that quality lingering within them, whereas Palace feels like they're playing out the skin at the minute. And then you can see Palace putting performances like they did against Brentford at home. Like, you've seen them smash Villa 4-1 at home, smash Villa 3-0 in the Cup semi-final, and then they just have some weird performance. I mean, going away to City and getting smashed 5-2 at the Etihad after being, like, in massive charge in that game. I just feel like they're a little bit too naive defensively, and they haven't quite got the right partner for Adam Wharton in midfield. They need a little bit more of the... Jefferson Lerma's not it. He's not quite it. And they missed Decore, I think, as well. If they had Decore fit, they might have a chance. But alas, we're not here for Palace. We're here for Leeds. Leeds and Bristol City. Long ball forward. Cleared away by Bristol City. Corin City have won enough trophies. Yeah, no kidding. We all want someone a little bit different to win the FA Cup this year, don't we? Same with Newcastle. It was good to see Newcastle win the League Cup. Even as a Liverpool fan, I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't a nice day, but no, it was at least good to see that it wasn't... I would have much rather been beaten by Newcastle than a City or an Arsenal or a Chelsea or anyone else that's actually experienced winning a trophy in recent years. It feels better to kind of allow other fans to experience some of the unmitigated joy that can spread through the whole city when your team wins a trophy. It's great. Everyone smiles, everyone's nice, even in work. You go into work where everyone's sometimes miserable and everyone's all smiles for a bit. It's nice. Unless they're just naturally miserable people. You get them everywhere. Corin, I wish we had a final between two purely even clubs. City are clear of Palace. They are, but wouldn't it be amazing? Wouldn't it be a proper FA Cup story if Palace were to turn it round and get that one, to win the cup. They're 3-1, Palace. Bookies give you 3-1 at least for Palace just to lift the trophy, even in penalties. Doesn't matter how. If Palace lift that trophy, 3-1. That seems quite high, I would have thought. Bristol City having their first real spell of possession here. In the Leeds half as well, no less. Pass straight out on a play. Not good. Corin, like Liverpool, Chelsea a few seasons ago, very even. No one had any idea who would win. And I thought those cup finals with Liverpool, Chelsea were crap, though. I always feel like when it's two teams who are quite even, it ends up being a game of chess, and they both kind of cancel each other out. It's never a... When's the last really, really good FA Cup final you can remember? Really good, like properly good FA Cup final. Let's have a look at FA Cup final history. I'm not good at remembering which ones are which. Yeah, 2-1 United, 2-1 City. The last two by United and City weren't terrible. They were okay, weren't they? Show the match, bro. Can't show the match, Chief. Channel gets banned. Not being unreasonable. I'd love to show the channel. Show the match. Can't do it. You can't do it. If I do it, the channel gets banned. A joke. I know, hey, listen, I'd love to if I could, mate. I really would. Bristol City throw. We're yet to experience a shot on target in this one. Sirom Nuo, what game are you watching? Right up here, buddy. Right up here. Corin, when Leicester beat Chelsea in that FA Cup final, that was so dramatic. What do you mean you can't see it? You can't see those words? You can't see those words? Right here. The white words and the red and the black words. Shot on target there from Leeds. Good save by Max O'Leary. Serum Nuo, no, all I can see is shirts. You're not looking close enough, mate. It's Leeds United against Bristol City. It says it right just above here. Jack, who do you want to win and what do you think the score will be? I don't want anyone to win, mate. I don't really mind who wins. I watch football, love football, watch all sorts of football games. We watched Serie A games yesterday, we watched La Liga, we watch Coppa Italia. I'm a Liverpool fan, so we obviously watch the Premier League. And yeah, Championship, League One matches. We watch football matches every single day on this channel. So if that's your thing, give us a follow. But who I want to win, I don't really mind. I think Bristol City probably are good for a point here. I think Leeds will give it a really good go, though. They'll give it a really, really good go. But I think Bristol City can get something. Nonto's in behind here. Chance. Not good enough. Poor delivery. Really poor delivery. Jack. Lil Sings. Nice. Oh, right, sorry. Ben, make those Gakpo comments. The Gakpo comments are, yeah, enlightening. I guess we'll see. He might just be trying to, I don't know, maybe he's being provocative, I don't know. Jack, thanks for the follow. Will, crazy to think next season Wrexham will play Ipswich. Yeah, Wrexham playing Ipswich and Leicester as well. They're playing lots of clubs next season, but yeah, some ex-Premier League ones, and maybe they get some Premier League experience in there. Callum, good to see you. Hello, Keon. How you doing, lad? More like what JWH said to Trent. What did JWH say to Trent? What's he said to him? I've not seen that. Sirom Nuo, what game was it? I missed what you said. Leeds against Bristol, mate. Leeds just penetrating around the edge of the area. Chance comes out to Nonto again. Shot from distance, miles over. Why are there so many gold shirts in the Leeds home end? Search it on TikTok, you'll find it. Go on, let's have a look. Let's see what we're talking about here. Oh, there you go. That, I think, yeah, I've just seen what he said. If that indeed is the case, I think it's confirmed that he's leaving. I think he's leaving. I do. I think he's leaving. And what he's doing there is he's said to John Henry that he's worried about the reaction. And today would have been a really good day to do it. I reckon that's what they've advised him. The club are probably working with him to kind of get him out the club in the right way because he's already made the decision to leave. So, if anything, I think that confirms that he's going. Scouse House, you okay, mate? How are Leeds doing? Leeds have just had their first shot on target. The game is still just trying. They're just trying to work the way through. It's not been a fast start really, but we've had a shot on target at least. Scouse House, can't believe Bologna drew. My bet done on first game. See, I always do, double chance. Always do draw no bet. Never, ever, ever do one team to win outright. Never do one team to win outright. Reese, what did he say? So allegedly, I'll tell you, this is very much alleged that John Henry said to Trent, "You've been quiet. How did you get on?" Trent then responded by saying, "Being sensible." John Henry then said, "I want you to do the right thing." And Trent responded, "Yeah." And then John Henry said, "Best way and don't panic." And the defender then said, "Should I decide?" John Henry then said, "Absolutely." And and nodded to the fans and said, "Let them know." Which I think is, he's going. He's going. So I hope I'm wrong, but actually that's kind of just made me a little bit sad. I think we've confirmed actually with that he is going. Oh, that's wonderful play by Leeds. Pirro's in. Chance for Leeds. Is he on? No, offside. Solomon scored. You could see it looked like he was off just slightly, Pirro, when the ball got played through. But it was a wonderful bit of play by Leeds. Really, really good one-touch stuff. Just in the final third. They pass it through into Nonto they just broke the lines and very quick. All three Bristol City players all tried to press and it was just too quick. It was into Nonto's feet, bang into Pirro back into Nonto. Nonto then slips it across into Solomon, who is onside. He taps it into an empty net. But yeah, I think Pirro was definitely offside when it first got played through. So yeah, still 0-0. No goal, but a goal ruled out for Leeds. And Leeds are the only ones who've had a shot on target as yet. But I think Bristol would have anticipated that, wouldn't they? They would have anticipated it's going to be a fast start from Leeds. They're at home. They have an opportunity to, get back in front in the title race. And yeah, it's to be expected. Lazio 0, Parma 1 in Serie A. Bloody hell, that's going to kill us. That's really going to hurt us. But when has he addressed the fans to say that he's going, Trent? Or, that is, has he? No, he hasn't addressed the fans. He hasn't addressed the fans at all. It's all still very much up in the air. Nobody knows whether or not he is going to leave, or whether he's decided to leave, or whether the club have, Real Madrid have already signed a contract with him. We don't know. All of that could be possible. It could also be infinitely possible that the club have signed an agreement with him and he's staying. So we don't know. Until we know, we don't know anything. Reece, Bristol City or Sunderland in the playoffs? I think if it goes in the playoffs, I still fancy Sunderland. I think Bristol City haven't been... I know they beat Sunderland the other week, but Sunderland... My only worry with Sunderland is I think they're actually a better team than we've seen, but they've lost, 4 or 5 games on the spin now. Sunderland have been really awful for weeks. It just feels like they secured the playoffs and went, yeah, we'll just leave it now. We'll forget about it. And it's such a dangerous tactic. Such a dangerous tactic, that, because you can't turn form on and off. So I'd be worried about Sunderland, but I think they're a better team than Bristol. They are a better team. Zany Bainey, BCFC up the Robins. Bristol City have got 7 points in the last 5 games against Sunderland. Yeah, listen, I know, and I'm not saying that at all. I think Bristol City, you beat them the other week, and I'm not saying you couldn't. I just think over 2 legs, usually over 2 legs, the better team tends to go through, and I think Sunderland would probably just go through. But again, it's going to be close. It's going to be very, very close. That's me as an outsider watching it, looking in. I think Sunderland have got a much better, maybe a more Premier League ready squad than Bristol. Let me say that. I think if Sunderland came up now, they'd probably need a lot fewer players than Bristol do to try and stay up. Reece, 7 changes versus Bristol. Yeah, no, I know. But that's what I'm saying. I think that's the difficult thing, Reece. That's the really, really difficult thing. You can't just get in the playoffs and then turn it off. Like that's what United fans keep telling me every week. That, oh yeah, we're not worried about the Premier League. We don't care about it. We're just going to do the Europa League. We're all about the Europa League. We're resting players for that. We're rotating. Blah blah blah. You can't keep losing games. If you keep losing games and then you go into a big game where you need to win, you are far more likely to lose or not put a performance in. It's not a tap. It's not a switch. You can't turn it on and off. Ben, I'd be shocked if Sunderland won the playoffs, although I hope they do. For me, the Prem should have Sunderland in it. Sunderland-Newcastle's a really good game. I like the time weird derbies. But I don't mind. I really don't. I would quite like to see Bristol City come up. I would quite like to see Coventry come up. I don't want to see Sheffield United up, and I don't want to see Millwall up. So, Leeds, chance, Solomon, must be, 1, no, good save. Good save by O'Leary, behind for a corner to Leeds. Mark, hey mate, I'm back. My mate Dom is being enlisted into the Marines, big up. Blimey, into the Marines. Good lad. Fair play to him. Scouse House, the only teams that should be in the Prem are the ones who play good enough to be there. That's it. Fair point. Yeah, fair point. And all that is still to be determined, isn't it, ultimately? Zany, we would go straight back down, but it'd be the first time in 120. Yes, we'd be in the top flight. And that's it. Yeah, and that's why I've done videos about this saying exactly the same thing. From a Liverpool fan's point of view, I would much rather see Bristol City in there than Sheffield United, for example. Chance for Leeds. Oh, cleared off the line. Cleared off the line. There was a claim there, but they're not going to get it. It's back out to Solomon. Far post. Nonto must be. 1-0. Nonto at the back post. It wasn't. It was Tanaka. How did I get them two confused? It's Tanaka at the back post. Great goal. Leeds 1-0. How's that? Leeds 1-0 up. It was a great ball to the far post. I think it was Solomon who hung it back up. And it's 1-0. Corin, what happened to Kane? Haven't seen him in ages. He's messaged me the other day. I just don't think he's... I think he's been poorly as well, he said. But I don't know. He's not come into the lights for the last few days. But it was played over to the far side from the corner. Tanaka headed it back across. Who is that? Who's that? Number 19 for Bristol. Who is number 19? Because I tell you what, if I am their manager, I am absolutely raging at him. I am absolutely... It's not number 19. It is number 19. Who is it? Who leaves him? Number 19. Who are you? Tanner. George Tanner. You've had an absolute shocker. You have had an absolute shocker. That's really, really poor. George Tanner has had an absolute shocker there. He's marking Tanaka. Tanaka wins the header, knocks it back into the danger area. The ball goes back out to the far side. And George Tanner, who is on Tanaka, just runs back into the box. Runs back into the crowd of players in the box. Leaves Tanaka completely unguarded at the back stick. And who does the cross come into? Tanaka at the far post. Taps it in. Really poor from Tanner. Really, really poor. And it's 1-0 Leeds. 1-0. That's Leeds back to the top of the Championship. Reece Crownshaw, I'm absolutely bricking it for tomorrow. I'm going to be nervous all day. Leeds are in again here. Could be 2. Good save from really good save from O'Leary. Solomon probably should have scored that one. Very nearly 2-0. Could have doubled the advantage early on. 23 minutes in. It's wonderful play again from Leeds. Really, really smart play. The more I watch this Leeds side, the more I'm thinking they might just have the wherewithal to stay up. They're playing some really, really smart football. The difficulty's going to be at the other end, isn't it? They're going to face far more pressure at the other end. They're playing really, really incisive, one-touch stuff. It's very, very neat and tidy. Very, very good. Beans, we need a new defence, for fuck's sake. Mark, Championship 100 times harder than the Prem. It's certainly a lot more entertaining, certainly in the last few weeks, I think. Championship's been great to watch. I've really enjoyed it. Again, as a Liverpool fan, I've had a fantastic season watching Liverpool. I had a brilliant season starting Premier League dad, watching more of the Championship with you lot. But this has been really, really good start to the game. 1-0 already. So, Bristol City would still be on 67 points. Coventry on 66. Bristol City on +7 as it stands, assuming it finishes only 1-0. Bristol City on +7, Coventry on +4. If Bristol City do lose this, they can't afford too big of a drop because there's teams around them that could end up finishing above them based on goal difference. Surely Leeds have got to sign Solomon on a permanent though. I think they get him quite easy because he's at Spurs, isn't he? So Spurs have no need for him. Scouse House, are you watching on TV, mate? I am, mate, yes. It's on Sky Sports. Sky Sports Football. Mark, what's happened to Bamford? Last I heard of him was the 2020 season. Yeah, Bamford was never a very good player, I didn't think. I always thought he was a little bit... a decent Championship player and never anything more. There's a lot of players like that. He would have been a lot better served doing what kind of Che Adams and Ollie McBurney have done. Go and reinvent yourself abroad. Go and have a wonderful career abroad. He could have actually gone and done a bit better, over there. Ollie McBurney looks an actual competent La Liga striker. And sometimes, people will say that and say, oh well, it's not about the standards much lower. It's not about the standard. It's a completely different style of football, and sometimes a different style suits you much better. So it's not about standard, because look, we're seeing Barcelona, Real Madrid, those teams. I mean, Bilbao might yet put United out. So I don't think it's necessarily a standard thing. It is just a completely different style of play. Scouse House, I mean TV, monitor, tablet. Oh no, it's funnily enough, it's a projector screen that I watch on. Yeah, I got one of those TikTok projectors. Not that I'm promoting it, by the way, but I've got a TikTok projector, which, yeah, my missus got for me for free from TikTok, and it's really, really good. You can plug your Skybox straight into it or whatever you want. It's got a HDMI cable. You run that straight through, and it's crystal clear. Bang on. Free telly. Liverpool for life. I think Leeds will stay up, and I think if Burnley keep going, Burnley, I think I have to agree with you there, Jack. I'm not sure they score enough, but I think they do look a lot more resolute defensively, and that might serve them better than Leeds, who are a lot better going forward, but maybe don't look as sharp at the back. That is the difference, isn't it? You look at the goal difference. Burnley have conceded the least. Leeds have scored the most. It's very much that in the Championship. Another corner for Leeds. Nonto on the edge of the area. Tanaka wins it. Tenacious Tanaka. Fantastic play from him. And there's a Bristol City player gone down. Ref stopping the play. BCFC, even a draw would be good for us. If we lose, playoffs hopes might just be over. No, I don't think so. BCFC, I don't think so. I think if you lose, you just have to beat Preston on the final day, don't you? I think you have to beat Preston. And Preston will be fighting. They will be scrapping because they need to maybe get a point to stay up. So, I think a point here, a point against Preston, you've got the playoffs. You've got it. I mean, that's a fact. You would get it with 2 points. 2 points is all you need. So if you lose here, yeah, that's not great, but it means you have to win. You have to win against Preston. Scouse House, I have 3, mate. Jack, Burnley don't score enough. Corin, James Trafford is a great keeper. I don't know if he's a great keeper. He's another one who's been protected a little bit. Like, Burnley conceding, 15 goals all season? That's not just due to James Trafford. Trafford's been a good keeper, but it's a very much a defensive team that don't... It's like Matt Sells, right? People will tell you that Matt Sells is one of the best goalkeepers in the league. And when you ask them why, they'll say, well, Forest have conceded very, very few goals. He's pulled off some good saves. But when you look at how few shots Forest actually concede, they play in such a way that they're very, very deep. They limit chances for the opposition. That's why it's almost more impressive when you have, like an Alisson, for example, who you have Liverpool, who are quite reckless, maybe. They fly forward, they leave spaces, and they do get exploited. And Alisson saves us 3, 4, 5 times a month, minimum, with one-on-ones. Jack, have you seen Leeds' transfer profit, though? They've got insane profit and Red Bull owners. Yeah, well, that's it. You've got to be a better run club off the club. They're certainly better run, or will be better run, than they were under, was it Radrazani? So, yeah, and Peter Risdale long before that, if you can remember the days of Peter Risdale. So, and Bates. Was it Ken Bates as well? They've had rough times, Leeds, as well. I mean... I remember sort of growing up with the Leeds side in the Champions League semi-final against Barcelona at Ellen Road. They've come a long way since then, but I always firmly think a Premier League is better with a Leeds in it than a big city. You want Leeds in it, and I'd quite like to see them come back up. Well, they are coming back up, so hopefully they stick around. Yorkshire. Corin, not all 3 teams promoted go down next season. Definitely not. Mark, think Sunderland never go up in the next few seasons. Prime Premier League had Sunderland. Yeah, Prime Premier League was Kevin Phillips, Niall Quinn, that Sunderland, Schwartz, Sorensen, Reg Vardy on the top. That was the Sunderland I grew up watching. Corin Matsells is a good keeper. He is a good keeper. I just don't think he's world class. He's not like a best in the Prem calibre, but he's had a good season and he's playing for a team that protects him. And the same could be said of James Trafford. Good keeper, had a good season, but if you put him in a better team where he was exposed to more shots, would he be as good? That's the question. It's the same sort of thing with like Jared Branthwaite at Everton. You can apply the exact same logic. Jared Branthwaite, fabulous defender, but always has defended in the same system. Box defender, balls into the box, he can head them away all day. He's a big, strong lad. But if you put him in a City or you put him in a Liverpool, he's not defending that way anymore. Because they don't face that many types of balls into the box. It tends to be more of a defending quite high. You know, balls into his feet. Can he play under pressure with the ball at his feet? And that's going to be the question for Jared Branthwaite and whether or not he gets a big move this summer. Mark, the Forest, Matsells argument is like the David Raya argument. Raya carried by Saliba and Gabriel. Bristol City are in here. Decent chance. That might be a foul. Not going to get it, sadly. Corin, do you rate David Raya? Yeah, I think David Raya is a decent goalkeeper. But again, I would never ever file him in the category of like world class. I just think he's a competent goalkeeper. A very, very competent, sturdy, reliable goalkeeper. And that's sometimes all you need. Just he doesn't have many errors in him. Doesn't have too many errors. He's had a few, but not too many. As all keepers do. But he also doesn't save Arsenal anywhere near as much as maybe Courtois saves Madrid, or Alisson saves Liverpool, or those sorts of goalkeepers. There's the elite, and then there's the bracket below where you've got your David Rayas, and I think David Raya belongs in that bracket. I may be proved wrong by that. I just don't. I think Arsenal are a very defensive, negative team that take very, very few risks, and as a result, David Raya doesn't face as many shots. Or maybe he does face as many shots, but doesn't face as many dangerous shots, lower XG. It's all that sort of thing. Reece, I'd love to see Portsmouth and Wigan back in the Prem. God, no, not Wigan. Not Wigan. And again, Wigan's almost a second team, I guess, because they're relatively local to me. But, Wigan. They're a rugby town. You don't want Wigan in the Prem. Portsmouth was great. Fratton Park was brilliant. Again, but it's not a Prem club anymore, really, Portsmouth. Jack, who do you think goes down next season? I think it's really difficult to say, but I don't think it's the three Championship clubs. I think Everton are always going to be a dangerous one to watch because they're not going to have the money to spend. They've just got the new stadium. Every time a club has gone into a new stadium in the Premier League, even without Everton's recent track record of finance, issues with the finances, forget all that. Every time a club has gone into a new stadium, costs shoot up. Therefore, the summer transfer budget is like very, very minimal. And they've unfortunately got Jack Harrison going back to Leeds on loan, Armando Broja going back to Chelsea on loan, Orel Mangala going back to Lyon on loan. Leeds are in here, chance, just over, corner, deflected wide. Orel Mangala, Jack Harrison, Armando Broja. Who else have they got on loan? They've got some other players on loan. I can't remember who else. But anyway, they've got two or three players easily going back on loan. Carlos Alcaraz is another one, isn't it? Yeah, maybe going back to Brazil. You never know. And then they've got Calvert-Lewin on a free leaving. Decore maybe on a free. Garner Gay maybe leaving on a free. Michael Keane maybe leaving on a free. Ashley Young, Seamus Coleman, Asmir Begovic, João Virginia. It's like literally a third, if not more, of Everton's squad could be gone next season and they get nothing for it. So how do you replace them? and not just replace them, but replace them with sufficient quality that it affords you the ability to stay in the league. It's going to be a really difficult job for David Moyes next season. They've lingered around the bottom for many, many years. They've been safe now probably for 3 or 4 months. They've been fine since Moyes came in. He turned it around immediately. But under Dyche, they were very, very, just not quite right. So I expect we'll see them sell Jared Branthwaite to the highest bidder and go and try and get some bargains, some 10, 15 million pound players to bulk the squad back out and go again next year. And whether or not those adapt quickly, whether or not they're sufficient quality, there's all that still to be decided. D. Nickel, thank you for the follow. My throat's definitely giving out, by the way. I apologise. I've had cough medicine and all sorts, cough sweets and everything, trying to get it rested before tonight's stream. Bristol City with a chance here. Oh, he's just took it wide. He's carried it far too wide. Unlucky. Liverpool for life. Have you seen Leeds are expanding Elland Road to 53,000 capacity? No, I haven't, but that'd be good. That'd be something to be expected with, with the Red Bull ownership. Sorry, just catching up with the chat. Jack, anyone know if the Plymouth game will be on a big screen in town? Which Plymouth game? Plymouth v Leeds? I assume you mean from a Leeds perspective, because Plymouth aren't going to be safe anymore. I was really hoping Plymouth would need a win over Leeds, because I was gonna do a watch along on that on the final day. I was hoping Plymouth would get a win last week and maybe results would go their way, and then maybe they'd need that win against Leeds on the final day to stay up. With Leeds also needing to win the Championship, that would have been a hell of a setup, wouldn't it? But yeah, sadly Plymouth are down. Leeds just need to get the win now, don't you? It doesn't matter what Burnley do. As long as you win here, win against Plymouth, you've got the title. Hughesy, buzzing about yesterday. Best day of my life to experience it at Anfield too. Amazing that, Hughesy. Made up for you, mate. It was it was an unbelievable day, wasn't it? Christ, I got emotional sat here live on the watch along. So yeah, it was a really, really good day. Looked, all the pictures and the videos and everything's amazing. I'm still working my way through them. Loads of really cool stuff from yesterday came out. Mark, remember that season when Wigan was relegated but won the FA Cup? So in Europe also, yeah, I do. One of my best mates is a Wigan fan, so we talk about that all the time. He very nearly called his kid Ben because of Ben Watson scoring the header against City in the FA Cup final. Matt Egg, Leeds, Burnley and whoever else goes up. No way. Listen, there's no way all three go down again. That doesn't happen. I still think Everton's the one to watch. Couple of others maybe. Wolves, yeah. Wolves aren't safe given they lose Larson and Cunha. Well, Strand Larson, I think, is one who'll come back to the Prem, no doubt. I mean, I know he's only on loan, but yeah, Strand Larson has done really well, hasn't he? And even if they sell Cunha, look at Wolves' recent transfer, policy. They've got a good record of signing players. Wolves, they tend to do all right. They plucked Matheus Nunes from nowhere. He ends up going to City. They've got Ait Nouri. You could probably get 60 million for him, no problem. One of the best left backs in the league. Max Kilman, plucked him from nowhere, ends up going to West Ham for whatever it was, 40, 50 million. They've got Andre and Gomez in the middle. They had Vitinha, one of the best midfielders in the world now at PSG. They do all right. They do all right. They've got Cunha in. They'll sell him for 60 million profit. They got Strand Larson in. Pedro Neto. They've got an amazing scouting network, Wolves, especially centred around Portugal. And they'll just roll another one of them off, I think Jose Sar's still been a good keeper for them. I think you've got, Neves, historically another one, really good. Ended up going to Saudi, but brilliant player. Very, very good player. Very likeable player as well. So, yeah, Wolves will do okay, I think. They've got a bit of money as well to play with. Everton, maybe less so. And that's the concern with Everton. I know, look, I'm a Liverpool fan. Everton fans will probably say, yeah, just having a go at us because you're the red. It's really not that. Everton have been circling the drain for many, many years. I think they need to spend quite big this summer, just from a numbers perspective. If they do, then maybe they stay up. Maybe it's fine. But I think Leeds and Burnley will definitely give it a good go next season in the Prem. Whoever else comes up via the playoffs, to be decided. I just hope it's not Sheffield United. Anyone other than Sheffield United for me is a success. I'd like Bristol. I'd like Coventry. I wouldn't mind Sunderland at all. And the only maybe three that I really don't want is Sheffield United, Borough, and Millwall. If any of those three come up, I'll be like a bit gutted. Reese, Bamford feels like he's been going for about 30 years. Jesus Christ, I feel like I've been smoking cigs for 30 years. Listen to state. Excuse me. Sound ridiculous. Liverpool for life. If Everton get relegated next season, do you think Pickford gets picked for the World Cup? Yeah, mate, Pickford's... Well, it depends, doesn't it? Trafford maybe. I'm sure Pickford would still get in the squad. But Trafford might just be, stepping up on that front. FM No Casuals. Dwight Gale is retiring soon. I feel old. Whoa! What is that keeper doing? Carl Darlow's just had an absolute shocker. Bristol City with the ball into the box. And Carl Darlow came out to try and claim it. Got nowhere near it. That was not good enough. Owen, you okay, mate? It's Scouse House. Good to see you, Owen. There was a claim there for the penalty. I think it was from Pirro. He's not going to get it. No way. No skill Aaron. Who's this Tanaka guy? Seems like a tidy little player. Yeah, he's another one that Everton, funnily enough, Everton have been linked with. Tanaka. Yusuf, welcome back. Good to see you. Corin, Thiago or Fabinho? Thiago, I think, was the better player. Fabinho... Sorry, Thiago was the more talented player. We didn't see it often enough. Fabinho was the better and more consistent player. At one point, I think Fabinho was maybe the best defensive midfielder in the world. He just didn't stay at that level for very long. Whereas Thiago was Thiago, when he played, assuming he was fit, I would have him in my all-time Liverpool 11. He was that good. DG, who do you think's off up in the playoffs? Who do I think? I think Sunderland. Fingers in the draw right now. If I had to answer, I would say Sunderland, just because I think they're the most talented out of the four that's left. They've got the players in that squad, I think, that could do all right in the Prem. But that's not necessarily who I want. I would quite like to see Bristol or Coventry. But it's going to be very tight. It's going to be very close. Ollie, why not Borough? Why not Borough? Because I used to work with a guy who supported Borough. And, do you know when you just don't like someone? He was a bully. He just wasn't a nice guy. Me and him, I didn't have any issues with him personally, but he was just not nice to other people. And it was one of them. He was a manager, and he just wasn't a nice guy. Just wasn't a nice guy. One of them who, all nicey to your face, but coward. And he supported Borough, therefore I don't like Borough. It's one of them. If you ever... if people who have kids will understand this. It's 2 minutes of injury time. People who have kids will understand this. When your wife or you are deciding, what should we name the little one, whether it's a boy or a girl, and they suggest the name, and you go, absolutely not, because you remember some person with that name. It's just that for me. I actually quite liked Borough as a team growing. No, that's also a lie, actually. That is also a lie. I didn't like Borough growing up because they beat Liverpool in the 1996 League Cup semi-final. Mikel Beck scored against us at the Riverside, and Ravanelli scored a hat-trick against us for him as well. And they also cost us the title at the Riverside when we drew 1-1 with them when Fernando Torres scored and United won the title. So yeah, listen, I hated Borough long before. There was a history with Borough. Didn't like him. Met this guy. He supports Borough. He was a bell. I didn't like him. So I don't like Borough. So there's no deeper reason other than that. I have no issue with Middlesbrough, the place. I am sure, Borough people are lovely. But he was a bell. Borough have beat Liverpool in big games. Therefore, I don't like Borough. At least I'm honest about it. Corin, alright, Frank Butcher. I do sound a little bit like Frank. Alright, Pat. Scouse House, everyone switch over to YouTube, help him out, can speak more freely. Oh, nice one, mate. Nice one. To be honest, we've got a few on YouTube as well. A few on YouTube, a few on Twitch. But if you're watching along with me, then it would be very helpful if you went to YouTube and subscribed. Please do remember to follow and subscribe. We watch football every single day on this channel. It's 1-0 half time. It's just gone there, the half time whistle. Yeah, we watch football every single day on this channel. We're watching the Champions League tomorrow, Arsenal and PSG. On Wednesday, we're watching Barcelona Inter. On Thursday, we're watching Atletico Bilbao against Man United in the Europa League. Come on, Bilbao. Friday, we're watching Manchester City against Wolves. And then Saturday, I think on 12:30, we are going to do maybe Burnley against Millwall. I think that's the one to do. I could be swayed. I don't know. But I think that's the one to do. Yeah, oh come on Robbins, this is dead. Liverpool for life. If Millwall go up, they'll be the most hated fan base. Mark, you think Slot goes for the Champions League next season or tries to retain Prem or all of it? He's got to go for all of it. Every single Liverpool manager has to go for every single cup. It's a reality of being the Liverpool manager, the United manager, the City manager, the Chelsea manager. If you're a manager of a big club, you've got to go for them all. But I'm sure they'll take a view on it. Like, I got slated the other week as a Liverpool fan for saying that I thought we wouldn't win the league next season. And I still believe that. I still believe we won't win it next season. And the reason for that is I think the change that we're going to see over the summer at Liverpool is seismic. I think it's going to be massive. We're going to see 8, 9, 10 players leave. And maybe 8, 9, 10 players come in. And when you change circa half or a third of the squad, you don't get the same squad. It's going to be really difficult to make sure we keep the same level, intensity, quality that we've got now. But there's so many players who are going to leave. Nunes is leaving. Diaz is leaving. Jota's probably leaving. Trent is probably leaving, sadly. Kelleher's going to leave. I think Harvey Elliott probably leaves. I think maybe Chiesa leaves. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Endo left as well. So there's a good chunk. Simicast as well. Like, there's a lot of players in that team. Kwanzaa, maybe even Joe Gomez. It's a lot of voices in the dressing room that's going to change. And I've just named off the bat there, whatever it is, 12 players. All of whom have got a very not quite sure future at Liverpool. YA, Stockport coming to Championship through the playoff, I hope. Yeah, good club Stockport. Good club Stockport. Again, I used to work with a lad who supported Stockport. And I used to go every game. Good team. Will, this homemade pork stew my mum made is so good. Nice. FM No Casuals, I wanted Bobby if I had a boy or Paolo. That's quite a jump. Bobby or... Oh, hang on. I've just understood why. West Ham fan, Bobby or Paolo. That would make sense. Not Frank. Not Frank or Jermaine. Liverpool for life. 3 o'clock Prem games this weekend are pretty pointless. Yeah, I was going to say I'm not sure which 3 o'clock games to look for in the Prem. Because there's only really Everton, There's only really Everton against Ipswich at 3 o'clock. Or Leicester against Southampton. So, I don't know. I might do the 3 o'clock Everton against Ipswich. We'll see. Will sings, Millwall fans are vile. Mark, do you think Chiesa gets some game time now? No, I think he's going, mate. I think he's going. It's sad it hasn't worked out, but yeah, it's just one of them things. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't. He's a very good player, very talented player. The club took a gamble bringing him in. I think there was a little bit of a PR move in bringing him in, almost, just to appease the fans, appease Slot. He will give you someone. But they don't like taking chances, Liverpool. They don't like taking chances, and I think what happened in the summer was Slot probably came in and said, "Do you know what? I want to have a good look at these players. I want to have a good look at them and decide who I want and who I don't before I make any big decisions on who I should bring in and who I shouldn't." So, and that seemed reasonable, and he's basically won the league with Klopp's team. So now he knows what he wants. Now he knows who he wants to move on and who he wants to bring in and how he can influence the team. And that's, there's a risk to that. But I think with Chiesa, it was just about appeasing the fan base, because, look, Liverpool fans weren't happy at all. There was a real possibility we were going into the season, a season where we'd finished third, where we were losing Jurgen Klopp, bear that in mind, and we weren't signing anyone. Can you imagine if we'd have gone into the season like that? There would have been uproar. The fact that we got Chiesa was just like, and he was in Salah's position, like it was never ever going to improve the team. He's never going to get minutes. Liverpool for life. What do you think will happen with Harvey Elliott in the summer? Yeah, I think he's going. Sadly, I think he's going. How much will the board back Slot is the question. I mean, Liverpool have got about 500 million plus headroom in the FFP sort of PSR stuff. We can spend a fortune because we haven't spent really big for a number of years now. We didn't spend in the summer. I imagine Chiesa will go back to Italy probably for the money we spent. We won't lose very much on him, so that's a deal that was affordable. And then there's the likes of, Kwanzaa, who'll probably leave for decent money. Kelleher, who'll leave for decent money. That's, academy players, that's good book value. Trent, a big amount of money off the contract, the wage bill, if he does go. And we've got some other players who we can shift on. So, it really wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool spend circa £500 million this summer. And then, do you know what's mad? We'll be accused of buying the league. But I think there will be lots and lots of movement, I'm telling you. And that's why I thought, it takes some time, very few. You can't just buy a load of players and expect them to settle immediately. It takes a year or so. So if next season we finish maybe second or even third again, I'd be quite content with that, as long as we were up and thereabouts and there was signs of improvement, and maybe we go far in the cups and we do all right in the Champions League. I think if we were where Arsenal are right now, I'd be content with that next season. That's what I said, and I got a load of stick for it. Colby Hutton, I think you should do Burnley v Millwall as a Burnley fan. Okay, Colby. See, that's the thing, Colby. Is it Colby or Cobby? Either way, Burnley and Millwall does seem to be the one that has the most riding on it. Burnley, they'll be watching, making sure they get a win, hoping Leeds drop points against Plymouth. Millwall, they'll need a win. They have to get a win. And they'll be hoping that maybe... Every time I hear my voice go, I'm sorry. They'll be hoping that there's points dropped elsewhere in the Borough-Coventry game, praying for a draw in that one, hoping that Bristol and Preston's a draw, hoping that Blackburn drop points. There's just loads resting on that Millwall-Burnley game, so we'll see. Liverpool for life. Endo's one of the best players to bring off the bench. Cobby, thank you for the follow. Corin, do toffees. Yeah, I think we'll do Everton 3 o'clock on Saturday. Ever no casuals, apart from the obvious, no side has ever not bought the league, mate. Yeah, there's an element of truth to that, isn't there? But I suppose it's the optics on it, isn't it? It's the optics. You don't want to appear as if you've just gone out and bought the league, as Chelsea did in 2004, as various others. I think there's a merit to winning it in the way that maybe United did back in the day, in developing players and then bringing players in for a reasonable amount of money and not just buying the best players, footy manager style. No offence, of course. That's the only way I ever tend to play Footy Manager. Cheat code on. User not found 600. Do you reckon Luton are staying up? Yeah, Luton will stay up. Luton will stay up. Definitely. They've done really, really well. That goal last week, in the Bristol game, that was massive for Luton. Yeah. And then obviously the Coventry one, where they had send-ins off galore. But yeah, Luton beating Bristol was massive. Luton beating Coventry the weekend after. I think they've secured it now. I know they're still only a point away, but I feel like away at West Brom are falling to bits recently. They've got one win in, 10 games, West Brom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One win in 9. They got one win in 9. So I think if they get a point at West Brom, they're fine. They're safe. Danny Parks, thank you for the follow. Oh, goodness me. Liverpool for life. What do you think will happen with the goalkeepers at Liverpool? Well, that's a very interesting one. Because obviously we've signed Mamardashvili. Mamardashvili is playing at a level that he's one of the best goalkeepers in La Liga. He's doing really, really well for Valencia, and I think it would be wrong to bring him in with Alisson still there. I think Alisson stays. He's got another 18 months or so left on his contract, 2 years. I think his finish is in 2027. So he's got at least one more season where he's the number one, right? So I think it would be pointless to bring Mamardashvili in. And I expect, there's rumours already that this has happened, so it may well be the case. I think he stays out on loan again next season. So I think we've secured Mamardashvili. That's the right thing to do. We've got a good keeper there. I think he stays out with Valencia next season. You know, if he's happy there in in Valencia, beautiful part of the world. He can go to La Tomatina, the festival in Valencia. It's a beautiful country up there. So yeah, go and have some Valenciana paella and enjoy life in Spain for another year, and then you can get over to us, and maybe bring a couple of other Georgians with you. Bring Kvaratskhelia from PSG and Mikatadze from Lyon. So I think Mamardashvili stays in Spain. I think Alisson is still going to be our number one. I think Kelleher has to move on. Almost certainly he moves on. Sad to see him go, but he's a wonderful keeper. He needs time he needs regular minutes. And every team in the Prem that needs a goalkeeper will want Kelleher. I think Newcastle will want him. I think Chelsea will want him. Albeit Robert Sanchez suddenly pulled out a worldie against Everton the other day. So yeah, I think Kelleher will get a good move to a Prem team and he'll be a number one in the Prem next season. Good luck to him. Leaves with our blessings. And we've already offered a new contract to our third choice goalkeeper. The guy who came on against Palace, if you remember. Alisson got injured. Or was it Alisson or Kelleher? I can't remember. Our goalkeeper got injured and Yaros came on. Vyacheslav Yaros. Czech goalkeeper. Has come through the academy. Good goalkeeper. I think he'd be reliable backup for Alisson next season. And I'd be happy enough with that. So Mamardashvili stays out. We cash in on Kelleher. Yaros is back up to Alisson for another 12 months. Cobby, what are your thoughts on Wolves staying up mid-table? This season, yeah, I mean, Wolves, as we talked about Wolves on this live, I really like Wolves. Good club. Good recruitment policy. Good scouting. We'll probably go and take a load of other, Primeira Liga players from Portugal and do really well next season. They've just got a great record of it doing it, haven't they? Cobby, what do you think will happen to Trafford at the end of the season? The Burnley keeper, by the way. I think he stays at Burnley. Again, I know there's rumours linking him to Newcastle, but that was last summer. This is this summer. That was when Burnley were going down. Now they're coming up. To me, it just seems unlikely that Trafford leaves Burnley. He's the number one at Burnley. He'll stay number one at Burnley. It would take a big amount of money, I think, for Newcastle to go and get him. And I'm not sure they'll do that. I think Kelleher's probably a far more gettable goalkeeper. And arguably a better one, I would argue. Barnaby Sykes, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate, but you might have guessed, the channel, Premier League Dad, we watch everyone. We watch everyone. On this channel, we just love football, right? So we do live football matches, watch-alongs every single day. Championship today, League One we did the other day. We've done 6 or 8 Championship matches in the last week. Premier League matches, as you'd expect. We did the big Premier League games last weekend. We're doing them all this weekend. We did 4 matches on Saturday back-to-back, so I was live for a good 12 hours consistently watching the Coppa Italia, watching the Copa del Rey final with Real Madrid and Barcelona. That was a late finish. We actually only ended the stream at midnight. And yeah, we do La Liga, Serie A, all of them. So if you like that sort of thing, if that's your bag, it's much better when I can actually speak, when I'm not, dying of a cough and a cold. My daughter's infected me with this cough, so my voice is going. So it's usually a bit better, a bit more high energy. We have all sorts of fans in the chat, as you can see. We've got Bristol City fans, we've got Leeds fans in there. So if you love football and you just watch football of all clubs, whenever my missus goes mad at me, whenever there's football on the telly, she looks and she goes, Why are you watching Norwich against Swansea? You're a Liverpool fan, why are you watching Norwich against Swansea? I'm like, because it's football and it's good. It's always them sorts of games that finish 5-4. But I don't mind. I'll watch 0-0s. I'll watch any team. I just love watching football. That's what I've grew up doing. And I feel like I can have a conversation about most teams, most clubs, most players. And no, I'm not an oracle. I'm not an oracle, but be relatively well informed on it. I just love football. Barnaby, Leeds home and away. Me, tonight's first game I've missed this year. See you next season. Good lad. Yeah, looking forward to Leeds in the Prem next season. Good to see him back in the Prem. I think the Premier League needs a Leeds. Tyrese, thank you for the follow. Liverpool for life. Are you going to watch Chelsea versus Liverpool or Freiburg versus Leverkusen at 4:30? Definitely Chelsea versus Liverpool. It's definitely Chelsea and Liverpool on this channel, mate. Right, we finally caught up with the chat. Goodness me. Barnaby, cheers, pal. I think we've got a better chance of staying up than many promoted teams recently. Yeah, that's the rumour doing the rounds that every time a promoted team comes up, they go down. It's only happened 3 times in 27 years, that, by the way. 3 times in 27 years, 3 promoted sides going up have gone down. It's a rarity. It is. It's happened the last 2 years. I don't think that's a pattern emerging. I just think it's the luck of the draw, sadly. Southampton came up when they finished 6th. They were never ready for the Prem. And they came up and tried to play like Brazil 1970 and passed teams off the park, and they didn't have the squad for it. Chance here for Leeds. Oh, very nearly. Is it in? Oh, should be 2. Should be 2. How's he kept it out? Goodness me. I tell you what, we talked about Max O'Leary being a goalkeeper under pressure and a goalkeeper that Bristol City fans have had a pop at recently. And I'm not basing that on anything other than the Bristol City fans we've had in here coming in and telling us Max O'Leary never play for my club again, that sort of thing. Well, he's kept you in it tonight. Leeds 1, Bristol City 0, but Max O'Leary's just made a couple of fabulous saves. Really, really good saves to keep Leeds out. Could be 2-0 up early in this second half. YA, Premdad is your YouTube channel in your bio. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is in my bio. But you can just go to YouTube and search Premier League Dad. If you search Premier League Dad, you'll find me. Oh, Bristol City putting themselves in trouble again. Max O'Leary just coming out and clearing it away. They're going to have to be sharper than this against Preston next week. They might fall out of it, Bristol, if they're not careful. They have to wake up. Reese, get Max O'Leary at my club right now. Edward Brown, hey Prem Dad. How you doing, Edward? Good to see you, mate. Yes, it is. It's the same picture as TikTok. It's exactly the same picture. The little fat cartoon character, bullseye looking thing. Um, Edward, I'm not good, mate. I'm unwell now as well. I've been sick and everything. Bloody hell. You must have got it from coming on this channel. I must have infected everyone. Because it's just going round, I think. Everyone's feeling poorly recently. Or did you have too much to drink? You might need her or the dog, Edward. Maybe it's a bit of that. I didn't even keep tabs on that conversation, by the way. In terms of was it Everton against Man United, that chat, Corin, and YA? Was that what it was? Leeds in again. Good clearance by Bristol. Premdad, I'm going seeing if I am subbed. I'm pretty sure I am, my guy. Good man. Cheers, man. Thank you. Yeah, everything makes a difference. So if you do like this sort of thing, if this is your bag, live watch-alongs of every single game. If you don't like, whatever club you support, sometimes you find an echo chamber where it's just your club's fans and you don't really get the outside opinion. And that's the thing. That's what you get here. Is it a bit of a community where you get all fans coming together and talking about everything that matters in football, promotion, relegation. Who's staying, who's going, managers, players, contracts, everything. The offside rule, as Reese is talking about now. I think the Premier League should do a weekend of no fouls and offsides. Like red card. Do you remember red card? Red card, the game. That was brilliant, that. Chance here for Leeds. Solomon just couldn't get it out of his feet. Yusuf, I really want Sunderland in the Prem. Yeah, Sunderland would be good. Good fun in the Prem. I'd love to see Bellingham back in as well. I don't know why I said back in, but you know what I mean. I'd love to see Bellingham in the Prem. Joe Bellingham, Chris Rigg. They've got some talented players there at Sunderland. Callum, support your local team, which is Leeds. Reese, I've never heard of Red Card, the game. Yeah, it's probably well before your time, that. Sorry, mate. That's one of my... I think I must have been about maybe 11 or 12 when that came out. Google it or YouTube it. Red Card, the game. It was basically a game where you was just... It was football, but your job was to foul the opposition as well. And just, yeah, it was like violent football. It was wicked. It was wicked. Corin, I didn't even realise the game was back on. Yep, 6 minutes in. And we've had a couple of decent chances as well, A couple of decent chances. Yusuf Job will sign in another team in the Prem, I think. You reckon? I don't know if he's ready for that just yet. He's looked all right in the Championship. I think there's obviously teams that have scouted him, but I think he would have to come up and get a good year. You've got to remember, it's a World Cup year next year. A World Cup year. So every young English player will be, I think, this summer thinking about that World Cup in 12 months' time. And players who will be looking at it and going, do you know what? I've got a chance. I've got a chance. If I get my act together this season, if I get the right move, if I, And there will be players who will try to get a move this summer with the World Cup in mind. Joe Bellingham might be one of those if Sunderland don't go up. I think if Sunderland don't go up, he'll look at it and go, well, if I stay at Sunderland, I've got no chance of being in the World Cup squad. If I maybe get a move to somewhere like Palace, maybe a good fit. Go to a Palace. Play alongside, your Whartons and Eze and get part of that squad under Glasner, who does take risks and does like his forward players to drive forward and take chances. Good opportunity for Leeds here. Dan James, I think it is. No, cleared away. Good play by Bristol. And they've passed it. No, kept it in. Jake, that was nuts. Red card. Reese, I've watched 2 seconds of that game. You could karate kick people. Yeah. It was awful. They brought out a second one, I think. They did Red Card 2 because it was that popular. It became a bit of a cult classic. It was a mad, mad game. And if you won the league or whatever, you ended up playing like a team of dolphins and stuff like that. There was like little hidden things in it. Dan James has been important for Leeds this season. Yeah, FM No Casuals, bloody hell, Lazio. I know, yeah, Lazio killing me as well, mate, for what it's worth. 67th minute, 2-0 down. There's no way they're coming back either. They've absolutely killed us, haven't they? Absolutely killed us there. Ball over the middle. Nonto's in. It must be 2-0. Willie Nonto. 2-0. What a finish. And Max O'Leary slaps the ground. He's absolutely raging with his defence. He parted like the Red Sea there. Who was it who passed to him? Who was it who passed to him? Was it Pirro? Oh, that's not good enough. That is not good enough. I'm sorry. Really, really poor, that. That's a mad, mad goal to concede. The assist was from... It wasn't Solomon. I think it was Tanaka again, I think it was Tanaka. Looked like Tanaka. No, it wasn't Tanaka. Who was it? Right, give me a minute, I'll tell you. It's Pirro. It's Pirro. Yeah, it was. It's Pirro. Pirro got the assist. Well done. Thank you for the GIFTS. I never say that word, the G word, just because every time I do, for some reason, TikTok pop up and say, stop asking for GIFTS. You're not begging. And I don't beg. I never beg. But I always really, really appreciate them. They're really, really well appreciated. Thank you so much, Jake. Thank you, Kay. FM No Casuals giving up on betting now. Thank you, Corin, as well. I didn't see yours. Lazio have done me on 2 bets there. Corin, apart from Salah, who has been Liverpool Player of the Season? Wow, goodness me. Maybe Gravenberch, maybe McAllister, maybe Van Dijk. I don't know. There's a lot of them. I really couldn't say. We've had a good few who've been exceptional. Bristol are all over the place here now. They're giving it away in so many places. Ollie Russ, we look absolutely clueless. Yeah, it's not been a good performance. Not been a good performance at all. Bogle was asking for a penalty there, but he's not getting it from Viner. That's not a pen. Assist was unbelievable, says Reese. Yeah, it was a good ball, wasn't it? It was a good ball. Aaron needs some yellows now. Jake, I'm just trying to do the team objectives. Cheers, mate. Callum, the cop-out, Van Dijk. Yeah, Van Dijk's been good as well. Trent's been good. Alisson's been good. Couple of changes here for Bristol. Bird and Wells off. Mehmeti and is it Armstrong coming on as well? Yeah, Mehmeti's come on for Bird and Armstrong. Sinclair Armstrong's come on as well. So, 2-0 Leeds. I think that might just be the game done and dusted from a Bristol City point of view. I can't see them getting the point that they need now because they've not really looked at it all night. I'll level with you. They haven't really got into the Leeds half. They haven't really caused... They've not given Carl Darlow anything to think about, really. They put one ball into the box in the first half that Darlow came out, tried to claim. He got nowhere near it. It was a bit of a cock-up from him, to be honest. But it was... That was the only real chance I can remember for Bristol City. Leeds have been the better team, which is unsurprising where they are in the table, but disappointing again from Bristol. Not a good couple of game weeks from them. Maybe even not a good month, if you can go back to the QPR game. They weren't great against QPR. No skill Aaron, come on Bristol, have some head loss and need some bookings. I just think they'll try and keep it chill now, because what are they on in terms of, they're on +6 in the +6 in the playoffs. Blackburn are on +5, Borough are on +10. Millwall don't have a goal difference. They're 46 goals in, 46 goals out. Coventry are +4. So if Bristol City concede any more, then they run the risk of finishing below teams based purely on goal difference. So I think they'll just try and protect this now. 2-0. If you're going to lose a game, there's a way to lose a game. Lose it 2-0. Move on to Preston. You have to win against Preston now. They have to beat Preston. Corin, see you in a bit. See you later, lovely. Thank you for coming on. Here's Solomon. Corner to Leeds. Kona. Flicked on at the near post. Oh, I've just realised my camera's gone funky. One sec. There you go. Sorted. I'm back. Forgive me. 30 minutes to go. Do we think Leeds get it against Plymouth on the last day then? Do we think Leeds can beat Plymouth on the final day? Because Plymouth, you'd have to think that's a foregone conclusion now, wouldn't you? Forever 15, what footy team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. Liverpool fan. But as you've probably guessed, we watch everyone. We watch absolutely everyone on this channel. Championship, League One, Premier League, Serie A. Did the Copa del Rey final the other night. So, yeah. We do live streams every single day. Watch-alongs every single day of games all over the world. So if that's your thing, give us a follow, if you don't mind. Give us a follow, give us a like. Leeds on the ball, driving forward now. Good play by Solomon. He's a very tidy player, him, isn't he? Aronson, Nonto, unlucky. Well played, very well played. Callum, he supports Roma. I do not support Roma. Definitely more Lazio than Roma. Support your local Roma. This probably wasn't the best game tonight to have a lot of talking on. I know on a watch along, you really got to have a well rested voice. I've been telling everyone today when they've been talking to me, shut up, I'm not talking. I've got a watch along tonight. Firpo, just wide from the corner. Yeah, it's not been a particularly good performance from Bristol. Do we think that Bristol can turn this round next week, or this weekend rather, against Preston? Preston fighting for their lives. That actually now might be the better game. I'm just wondering. Millwall against Burnley, or Bristol against Preston. Those are probably the two with the most riding on it, surely. Bristol need to win. Preston might well need a win, or at least a point, to stay up. And then you got Burnley and Millwall. Burnley, if they win, they need Leeds to drop a point against Plymouth. I don't think that's going to happen. And Millwall, they need to win and hope that Coventry and Borough draw. So it's I'm not sure which one to watch. I'm really not sure. Or do we just stick with the Premier League and do Villa against Fulham? I'm not sure yet. Not sure. Let me know. Danny Parks, how do you reckon Leeds are going to do in the Prem? I think they'll do all right. Yeah, I think they'll do all right. They're a much better attacking outfit than maybe I gave them credit for. They've been really, really incisive in the final third. I mean, I remember them being in the Prem not that long ago, and you know, I liked the look of Nonto then. I thought Nonto was really good. I liked Somerville. It hasn't quite worked out for him since he's gone to West Ham. I know he's had injuries and stuff, but they've always played that way, Leeds, even before Farker. But I feel like they're a lot better prepared now. I'm not sure if Pirro will convert to a Premier League striker. I think they might need something up there. They might also need a bit more at the back and maybe a touch more in midfield. I wouldn't be surprised if they went out and got Calvin Phillips from City. I know he went to Ipswich and didn't cover himself in glory, but obviously he's a Leeds lad. He's done well at Leeds in the past. So Calvin Phillips back at Leeds, that makes a bit of sense. Whether or not he'd start every game is a question, but he would be a good asset to have in there. We know he's an experienced player. He's played at the highest level. That would seem to suit all parties. I think City would be up for a deal as well, even if it was just on loan. So Calvin Phillips back to Leeds, get him in alongside Tanaka and Gruev. If he's fit, we know he can be a good player. And then I think they need a goalkeeper. They do need a goalkeeper. You can't last in the Prem with Carl Darlow, and Melior's been dropped to the bench. I think it's been decided he's not right anymore. So chance for Leeds. Oh, back post must be. Oh, just over the bar. There was a shove there. It wasn't there. Aronson skies it, but it looked like there was a slight push. Yeah, fullback to fullback again. It was Firpo to Bogle this time again there. Back stick, Bogle back across the face at goal. Really good play by Solomon. Yeah, unlucky. I think it was Firpo who got a shove. They're claiming a shove. They're not going to get it. No VAR in the Championship, but yeah, that would have been a penalty. Do you know what? If that was in the Prem, that would have been a penalty all day. They've just shown it back. That would have been a penalty all day. Should have been a pen to Leeds there. He literally shoved him, fully shoved him. Firpo had a header, a free header in net, and the defender behind him shoved him. It's been a really bad performance defensively from Bristol. This has not been good. And it's not the sort of end of the season game you want going into that big game against Preston now. Knight, the captain, Knight just passing it straight out of play there. Simple 10-yard pass. They've been rattled. They've been absolutely rattled here. Yeah, Pedro just scored for Lazio. Aaron, yeah, just spotted it. So yeah, Danny, I think Leeds can stay up. Can stay up. It's going to depend on what they do in the summer. Calvin Phillips would feel like a good one. I think a goalkeeper would be a worthwhile addition if they can get Kelleher. If maybe Newcastle don't want him or whatever, then maybe he would be interested in going to a Leeds, big club, back in the Prem. He'll start every game. Kelleher would be a great signing for Leeds if they can afford him and if they can go and get him. Again, really smart play around the edge of the box. That one-touch stuff from Leeds is really, really good. And a striker. It's difficult to get a striker in the Prem that will fit the Prem and will score goals. It's always tough, but I don't think they can go up with just Pirro. And I don't think Manor Solomon and Nonto are going to get him the goals either. So, but it's who you go and get, isn't it? It's who you go and get. Would they maybe take a chance on someone that's just come down? Maybe a Jamie Vardy, What about Jamie Vardy? Vardy to Leeds. Could that work? Experienced Premier League striker. We know he can finish. Get him in and around the box. Free as well. On a free. Wants to stay in the Premier League. He's already said he thinks he can still do a job in the Prem. I think you'd be silly not to. That two freebies there. Phillips on loan. Jamie Vardy. Those sort of signings I think could keep Leeds up. They're underwhelming, I know, but them sort of signings. Here's Solomon driving into the box. Great run. Chance for Leeds. Good clearance by Bristol. Excuse me. Cobby, who's winning the league? Burnley or Leeds? Leeds. Yeah, after this win tonight. That was the only doubt for me with Leeds. Is whether or not they'd win tonight. Now they've won tonight. They just have to get the win against Plymouth. It doesn't matter what Burnley do. If they win against Plymouth, and I think they will. Plymouth now... If Plymouth had got the right result last week, with the other teams, and maybe they went into that game against Leeds with a chance of staying up, then I would have said, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. And that would have been the game I would have watched. Because if Plymouth had played against Leeds, how they did against Coventry, I'm not sure Leeds would have won, I'm really not sure Leeds would have won. Lazio scored again. It's 2-2. Goodness gracious me. And I'd cashed out my bets as well. I'm furious. Reece, who'd win in a race between you and Prime Sadio. If I'm in my slippers, probably just Sadio. Alfie Barnett, old though. Yeah, look, he's old, but you don't have to have him play every game. But I think he does a job if you give him a chance. If you give him chances, and I think Leeds is a team that can create chances. Vardy would be a really, really good acquisition. He would be exactly the sort of player that could keep Leeds up. And he doesn't have to score he doesn't have to score 10 or 15 goals. He just has to score maybe 5, 6. How many's got this season, Vardy? I'm telling you, on a free, there are worse signings that Leeds could make. Much, much worse. He's got this season. There you are. He's got 7 goals and 3 assists this season in 32 games for Leicester. And he's 38. I know he's getting on. But put him in this Leeds side. If he gets you 5 or 6 goals next season that keep you up, job done. That'd be a really good signing. Really smart signing. I don't see anyone else who could come in and do that. But yeah, Leeds are going to have to be very smart this summer with their the transfer budget and all that. Reece, get a few Red Bulls down Vardy and he'll win the Golden Boot. Yeah, the only problem is you'd have to have Rebecca Vardy in the stands at Ellen Road. Getting called the grass every week. Earthy and McCrory off, Twine and Bell on. Bristol City making a couple more changes here. Edward, I'm so ill, this isn't right. Mate, just ride it out, you'll be fine. Just ride it out. It's everyone's on the backside dying at the minute with this bug, so just ride it out, mate, you'll be fine. Get some Beecham's Flu Plus down you. First real shot there for Bristol in the second half, miles wide. Aaron 2-2 Lazio, yeah, spotted it. Another very, very have I froze? No, I'm back on, fine. It's your fault. Yeah, so tomorrow, Arsenal. Let's have a chat about Arsenal PSG tomorrow. How do we think Arsenal PSG goes down? First leg, difficult tie. PSG did very, very well, I thought, at Villa Park. I thought they did very, very well at Anfield. I know Villa won at Villa Park, but PSG were 2-0 up and had effectively put the tie to bed in the first half, hadn't they? Before that Villa comeback that very nearly got them there, but I thought PSG managed the game really, really well. And at Anfield, again, they were just a better side. They took the chance that came their way. So I think they beat Arsenal. I think a draw would be a fine result for them as well, because I think they'd beat them in Paris. But I actually think they might beat Arsenal tomorrow. Jack, Arsenal go through, I think. You reckon? Well, I guess we'll see. Like I said, I'll be live tomorrow night for that one, doing a watch along. Hopefully, voice a little bit better. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a hate watch, but I do want PSG to go through. I'll be cheering PSG goals and not cheering Arsenal ones. But also, let me just caveat that by saying that I know if Arsenal win the Champions League, if they do actually go on and do it, it will be mega, mega emotional for them. And even though I'm not gonna, I'd hate that to happen. I'd kind of appreciate it as well a little bit, and like it'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Emotional for them to win it for the first time, and yeah, I don't want it to happen, but if it does, fine, I can live with it. Reese, if the voice is not better tomorrow, Prem Dad, I'll do the commentary for you. Yeah, we'll have to get you on. I'll just be the pretty face. you can be the voice. We'll get you added to the chat. I'll just mouth. Jack, PSG midfield will struggle and get physically overrun. You think PSG's midfield will get overrun? Wow. I mean, hey, listen, each to their own. I'm not mocking the opinion. I've never heard that. PSG's midfield has been so good, like so good. Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and Neves. Wow, like they were so good. They dominated our midfield, and our midfield, I would argue, is far more energetic and physical than Arsenal's. Arsenal have been saying all season that Odegaard doesn't really have the legs. I know Rice, yes, and Partey, fine, good players, strong physically. I just think that PSG, they matched Liverpool. They absolutely matched us. McAllister, Gravenberch, big strong lad, leggy, can get around the pitch. Szoboszlai the same, runs for days. Dominic Szoboszlai, they more than matched us over those two legs, and I haven't seen too many midfields match a Liverpool midfield like that in a very, very long time. So I actually think the area where the game will be decided tomorrow is in the final third, because I think that both defences are very experienced. You've got Marquinhos there, you've got, Pacho did really well for PSG, and, they've got Hakimi, they've got Mendes, solid defence. Donnarumma is an experienced keeper. And it's just whether the few chances that come Arsenal's way, can they take them? And the same could be said for PSG at the other end. Will Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and whoever else it is up front, whether it's Barcola or whoever, maybe do they take their chances? Leeds in it again here. No skill, Aaron. Partey suspended, isn't he? Yeah, Partey suspended for the first leg. That was a naughty one. Ref's not even give that. Not even give a free kick there. O'Leary under a bit of pressure. Good play by the keeper. Rice will pocket Vitinha. Only downfall is Partey missing. So who do you think is in that midfield then tomorrow? Do you think it's... Oh, he actually got the ball. Yeah, I got that wrong. It was a good tackle by Bristol City. Bamford's about to come on here. I think Ampadu might be coming off. Pirro's coming off for Bamford. And Nonto it is also coming off. It's not Ampadu. The ball there from Pirro was fantastic. Nonto got it on his right foot, opened his body up, and just passed it into the far corner. Great goal by Willy Nonto. Really, really good. Right, so who's coming off? Pirro's gone. Bamford on. Nonto off, Ramazani on. There you go. Ex-Man United, isn't he, Lagi Ramazani? There you go. Yusuf, I really loved the love between Slot and Klopp. Yeah, that was nice. That was rare, wasn't it? Don't usually see managers getting that, that sort of handover and getting it right. I think it's kind of what Ferguson tried to do with Moyes, isn't it? Speaking to the fans on the pitch and, taking it that, but it never quite worked out that way. It would have been nice if it did for United, but yeah, sadly they didn't quite get that bit right. Jack, I think for strength, like what happened at Villa Park, where they threw all of their strength at them. When they threw all of their strength, do you mean when Villa threw all their strength at PSG? Chance, 3-0. Ramazani's first touch, goodness me, it's 3-0. And does somersaults and backflips like the old Lamana Loa from Portsmouth. Great goal by Leeds, 3-0. Bristol City falling apart. This is really bad, and there's still 10 minutes to go. This could get worse. And again, we're talking about goal difference with Bristol City. This really could hurt them now. Bristol City... Again, I just want to take a quick look back at that Championship table, because now, if Bristol City were to draw with Preston on the final day, a Preston that, as we talked about, needs to get a point, needs something in order to stay up. Going to be a tough game, that at Ashton Gate. Bristol City dropped points against Preston on the last day. Blackburn, if they were to get a win against Sheffield United away, albeit Sheffield United that are already promoted, or if Millwall were to get a win against the Burnley, who are already promoted, then they might well draw. If Bristol City were to lose, Bristol City were to lose and Borough beat Coventry, then they could drop out as well. Yeah, no. Do you know what? Actually, no. That's looking at the table. They're still fine. They're still fine. Bristol City will be fine. They'll be fine. Reese, he might put Lewis Skelly there and then Timber at left back. What, and then Ben White on the other side? Yeah, maybe. Lewis Skelly could be in Arsenal's midfield. That'd be quite an odd... I know Lewis Skelly has played there at younger level. He's not really done that in a big... That would feel like a bold move from Arteta to put him in a game where he's never really played there at the highest level. Like, that's not the position that he's earned his stripes in, is it? Like, people keep telling me that 1 year he's a central midfielder. He's not a central midfielder. I don't care what anyone says. He's played right wing all season. That's where he's been brilliant. That's where he's broken records. And now people are like, oh yeah, well, he played as a number 10 in the youth academy. Yeah, so what? Andy Carroll was a right back in the youth academy. Harry Kane was a centre mid. No one's asked what they were doing in the academy. What's he been doing at first team? Well, he's a right winger. Right, well, he's a right winger then. Shut up. Callum, didn't James McAtee do a backflip the other day? He did, yeah, he did. Lewis, up the gas. Danny Parks, come on Leeds. Jamie, going to Cov with Borough. Nervy, a foot be some atmosphere. Yeah, it will be a really good game, that, won't it? Again, that might be one to watch as well. I'm debating which game to watch on Saturday. It's definitely going to be one of the Championship games, because even though I'm Premier League dad, I'm not sure about Villa and Fulham. Villa against Fulham. Again, both teams are in the European places, but it's just so bad. I really want to watch the final day in the Championship. So I guess we'll see. Shot from distance from Bristol City is well over the bar. Marky D, hope we stay in the Prem. Got a feeling we're more prepared this time round with better owners. Yeah, look, like, I really do think Leeds will stay up. I do. Or you'll give it a very, very good goal. A better goal than you did last season or last time out. But you definitely need some players. Definitely need some players. Same could be said of everyone else who comes up though. But yeah. Calvin Phillips. Let me know what you think about Calvin Phillips. I think that could be one to watch. Calvin Phillips back to Leeds. Not quite worked out for him at Ipswich. Not worked out for him at all at Man City. But feels like there's a deal to be done there. There's definitely a player in there. If he's fit, good asset, good option to bring on. Obviously, you got Gilavogui just coming on. Matteo Joseph both coming on for Tanaka and Aronson for Leeds, just to change things around for the last 5 minutes. Will, question for you. I'm eating sorbet right now, but what flavour am I having? You won't guess. I don't think I've ever had sorbet. Lemon sorbet. That's usually what people have, sorbet flavour, isn't it? Lemon. I'll go lemon. Reese, 1 year, he's a winger. Lewis Skelly used to be a midfielder and plays like one. Yeah, no, I know, but he's earned his stripes at left back, hasn't he? He's earned his stripes as a full back. I know he can play in midfield and he's good on the ball. But I think if Arteta... I would be very surprised if we saw the team sheet tomorrow and it's Lewis Skelly in midfield against that PSG midfield. A very, very good midfield. That would be a real surprise. No party. They need a bit of physicality in there. So I think it'll be Merino, actually. I think it'll be Odegaard, Merino, Rice. That's what I think he's going to go with. Odegaard, Rice, Merino. And I think he plays Saka, Martinelli, Trossard. That's how I reckon he lines up. Trossard at centre forward. Merino back in midfield. Ramazani looks really young, or is he small? I don't know how tall he is. And I think he is about maybe early 20s, maybe. 24. No, he's 24. He was in Spain for a long time, wasn't he, Ramazani? But I know he's ex-Man United, came through the United Academy. But he's in again here now. Could be 4-0 to Leeds. Hit it. Oh, what a turn. Oh, unlucky. Really unlucky. That was brilliant from Ramazani. Ball to the far post, cleared away. Should have been 4-0, that. Should have been 4-0. He's 5'5". He's 5'5", Ramazani. Oh, I mean, I don't know why I laugh because I'm a short ass, but I'm not that short. 5'5", bloody hell. Hey, he's still a cracking player though. I always remember like Sean Wright Phillips coming through. I don't know how tall Sean Wright Phillips was, but he was like that, just like so good on the ball, rapid, and could hit it from distance as well. Jack, I'd take Tanaka and Phillips in a 4-2-3-1. Yeah. Phillips, think if you could get Phillips back and get him fit and get him back to even sort of 70-80% of the player that he was at Leeds, you've got a real find there, haven't you? Unknown FRX, I absolutely love Maka. I just read his Instagram post, proper footballer. I haven't seen it yet. I got a text off someone before saying that he'd put something up, but I've not seen it. I don't know what it is. I was doing this. But I'll have a look in a minute. I've just read, someone on the stream told me that Trent, the lip reader, that John Henry had spoke to Trent on the pitch. And I do think that means Trent's leaving now. Will, how much money you reckon the owners will give Slot? I genuinely think we spend about $500 million this summer. Seriously, I do. I think we spend a good few hundred million. 300 million, let's say minimum 300 million plus sales. It'll be that sort of a summer, because we'll spend probably 40 to 50 million per position, and I reckon there's 5 or 6 positions we go and get. So even if you say 50 million average times 6, yes, there's 300 million. Lou, I've won 300 quid on Tanaka card. Jesus Lord, Lou. Every time you sent me a bet, I've always looked at it and gone, I would have never ever put that on. Ever. 30 quid on Verona v Cagliari and you won 150. What did you bet 30 quid on that one for? Jesus Christ. Tanaka and Gilgardi. Oh my goodness. Gilgardi got cards, got straight red. Nice. Unknown FRX, course he's leaving. Real Madrid are crying out for a right back and they've been knocking on him for a year. I know, but just because the Real Madrid, what Real Madrid wants, they don't always get. And I don't know, I just kind of hoped that we'd see some announcement from him, maybe after yesterday, just to say, nah, I'm staying, of course I'm staying. But when you see what John Henry said to him, if indeed that is what John Henry said to him, it looks like he's kind of advising him to let the fans know that he is leaving. Which is sad, innit? It is sad, but it is what it is. Stiggy, thank God Bristol City got tucked in. Yeah, it's not been a good performance from Bristol. Been a really poor performance. And again, it's going to lead them into that game against Preston on the last day, where they've got to get something. I know it's at Ashton Gate, and I know they'd fancy themselves there, but a couple of bad performances, week by week. It's not a good one to carry into the playoffs, even if they do make the playoffs. Unknown, I can't see it honestly. However, if he does, I'd be over the moon. Yeah, you'd want him to stay. Still the best right back in the world for me. So I'd love him to stay. He's had a very good season. Sadly, I don't think he will. That's really sharp play there by Bristol City. First time they've actually got on the ball in the midfield and really drove forward. But Ramazani getting back and getting the blocking. Good play from Ramazani. Richard Lyon Murphy, delighted for Bristol City. Delighted for them in what way? They've not achieved anything just yet, Richard. They've not achieved anything just yet. unknown FRX. I don't understand why Trent doesn't just announce anything about his situation when VVD and Salah have. I think they've known for some time, the club. Again, Robbie Fowler came out and said this, didn't he, before Christmas? He said, I think that 2 of them have already signed. And apparently Van Dijk and Salah had made it clear from the start of the season they wanted to stay, and maybe the club already had them contracts done, and they've known for a long time that they were already signed and they were already going to done, and they were just waiting for the right time to announce. Because the thing is, if you just get them 2 signed, then immediately the full spotlight goes on to Trent for the full season, and maybe he's been saying to the club for a while, well, I want to see, I want to wait, I want to see. Or maybe he's been very honest and said, no, actually, I really do want to leave. My intention is to leave. And he's let him know early. And the club have gone, right, okay, well, then what we'll do, if you're determined to leave, fine. What we'll do is we want you to play your best stuff, not distracted. Leeds are in again, chance. It's 4-0. It's 4-0. It's Ramazani. He's come off the bench and he scored 2. Oh, wow. Wow. That's a great goal. Lagi Ramazani, what a fabulous finish that was. Long ball over the top. Ramazani takes it down. He ran over the defence, broke the line, took it down on the edge of the area, opened his body up and just drilled it low and hard across the keeper, past Max O'Leary into the corner. 4-0 Leeds. Whew. Not a good day for Bristol City. Yeah, you just can't. I don't think it was ever going to be the right time for them to. He is onside. Don't think it was ever going to be the right time for the club to announce Trent is leaving. You can't say Trent's going at the start of the season, because then the fans, maybe the fans wouldn't have turned on him, but it wouldn't have been nice. Whereas he's been able to play his football undistracted. He's put in great performances. We've won the league, and now he can sort of leave in the way that he wants to leave. So yeah, it's going to be minging, but it's done. Game's finished. Ethan, that was added time. There was 4 minutes of added time, and they've finished it. Ramazani scored. The ref blew up. It's finished. 4-0. 4-0 to Leeds. Great game. Great performance. Richard Lyon Murphy gives Millwall a chance. It gives Millwall a chance. It gives Blackburn a chance. Gives Borough a chance maybe as well. If Borough can beat Coventry on the final day, you never know. Preston do have to go to Ashton Gate and get something. They're fighting relegation. They need to get something. Can they get something? We will be live on Saturday again, by the way. If you're a Championship fan, whether you're a Leeds fan, a Bristol fan, a Millwall fan, whatever, right? We will be live again for a watch-along on Saturday for one of these games. I'm not sure which one yet. I don't think it's going to be Leeds v Plymouth. Well, Plymouth v Leeds. I don't think it'll be that one. It might be Burnley v Millwall. It might be Coventry v Borough. I don't know yet. I don't know. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. We'll have a think. But we need to have a look at that one, because I just think that final day in the Championship is going to be mental. It's going to be absolutely manic. It could be Bristol. Could be Bristol against Preston as well. Bristol against Preston. We might do the watch-along on that one. I really don't know. Could be any of them 3. But Leeds are top. And if Leeds can beat Plymouth, they are going to be the champions of the Championship for the year. And they're going to be going up as well. So, going up as champions, that's exactly what Leeds wanted. Can they do it? Tough game away at Home Park on the last day of the season. And obviously, yeah, Burnley, they need to do their job against Millwall, who will be hoping and really fighting to try and get in the playoffs and maybe up to the Premier League for the first time. There's so many little subplots and undercurrents and stories going on in the Championship. It's going to be wicked. Really, really good end to the season. James Osmond, you said Trent's as good as gone. I have to agree with you, mate. Yeah, I think he is as good as gone, sadly. But, hey, there you go. Kai Sessignon, oh, you knew it was going to happen. Knew what was going to happen? What, Leeds winning? 4-0. It was a great performance from Leeds. It was a pretty terrible performance from for Bristol City, I have to say. But I I'm not going to stay on too long at full time because, as you can tell, and as I've said all game, the voice is going. I'm not well. I'm really, really not well. Kai Sessegnon still dreaming. Tobias, LUFC, Leeds are falling apart again. Kai Sessegnon, hope for Bristol to go up. Yeah, I think, I don't know if I hope for Bristol to go up, but I'd like them to. SAFC, the Black Cats, are you a Leeds fan? No, mate, I'm not. I'm a Liverpool fan. But you might have guessed from the channel name, we watch everyone. We watch the Championship. We've done 8 Championship games in the last week. We've done League One games. We've done Serie A games, La Liga. We love football on this channel, right? So everyone is in the chat. You've got fans of different clubs. We're not just one club fan channel. We watch absolutely everyone. We do live watch-alongs every single day. We've done 2 today. We're doing the Champions League tomorrow, Champions League Wednesday, Europa League Thursday, and then back to the Premier League on Friday with Manchester City against Wolves. And then Saturday at 12:30, we're going to do one of them Championship games. And we're going to see whether or not Coventry, Bristol City, any of them can secure the playoff spot, or can Millwall or Blackburn or Borough, can they nick it? And also, who's going to win the Championship? Can Leeds do it on the final day by beating Plymouth, or will Burnley get that win at Turf Moor against Millwall? They'll have to have a Championship trophy at both of them, won't they? They'll have to have a replica at one of them. But hey, we'll see. My money's on Leeds. I think Leeds probably do get it done at Plymouth, and I think Millwall might just nick something at Turf Moor. Might not be enough to win it, but I think they might just nick something. Kai Sessegnon, congrats for going up. Nice one. Them blue flirts, though. Yeah, I know. Hey, the Blues, they love it. They've got to have their laugh somehow, haven't they? Tobias suggests you do one of the relegation battle because the games that's tight at the bottom. It is. I mean, I think Plymouth are gone. Cardiff are obviously gone. You've got, I think Hull will go. I know they're third from bottom as it stands. I don't think Hull get anything at Portsmouth. I think Stoke and Derby probably get enough for a point. It's, Preston against Bristol at Ashton Gate. That's the one to watch, I really think. 'Cause Bristol need to win. Preston need to get something. They could be dragged into it. They really could. But it all depends on if Hull can go to Fratton Park. Hull have to go to Fratton Park and get something, at least a point. And even if they get a point, the goal difference isn't all that great. They might have to win at Fratton Park, Hull. So, look, we'll see. I do think Hull are gone. And I think Plymouth are obviously, they're I know it's not mathematically gone, but they're pretty much gone, aren't they? They've got like a 30 goal difference swing on the final day. Jordan Draper, Pompey, we'll be right up for it. Fratton Park's always a tough place to go, so I think Hull will struggle against Portsmouth. And Portsmouth, look, who was it who scored against Norwich the other day? Three goals against Norwich, the hat trick the other day. The centre forward, forget his name. We was talking about it the other day. Portsmouth flying, great win at Carrow Road. So I think Portsmouth will get something there, and Hull will go down. Sadly, Colby Bishop, that was it. I very nearly said Bishop, but couldn't get his name. Colby Bishop. So yeah, he's in good form, and I expect we'll see. Sorry, my voice is really giving out. I really don't sound like this usually, but I'm going to end the stream shortly, and we will see you all tomorrow night. Hopefully my voice will be well rested, and we'll be live for a big night of Champions League football. Arsenal against PSG in the Champions League. So, look, if you like live football, if you like watching football, no matter who the club is, whoever it is, and you want to get in amongst it with all the fans in the chat, we have fans of every club going. There's banter back and forth. It's all good fun. If you like that sort of thing, give us a follow. Premier League Dad. Go and find us on YouTube, Premier League Dad. And I'll see you tomorrow night. User not found is PSG on tomorrow. Sorry, yes, they are. Arsenal PSG tomorrow, 8 o'clock kickoff. I'll be live from 7 p.m. on here, on Twitch, on Instagram, on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all of them. Kai, what do you think Leeds do in Prem next year? I think you'll stay up. I think Leeds will stay up. Tobias, never mind the score. Bristol City looked good tonight. No, they didn't. Bristol City looked terrible tonight. They looked absolutely awful. We had Bristol City fans in the chat saying as much as well. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go and get my voice well rested for a big night tomorrow.